This is a passive with glide technique into the posterior thigh. We're going to encompass elements of the hamstrings. We're going to work slightly more medial and work into the adductors as well, and we will no doubt pick up some fibres of vastus lateralis on the lateral aspect. Again, in this area, we need to be very considerate of spider veins and varicose veins. If there are one or two, we can work around it, but when we're carrying out the glide, we'll need to be very careful not to cause undue stress over those tissues. And again, as with the calf technique, we need to be very careful not to encroach on the popliteal fossa and risk aggravating the underlying neurovascular structures. To begin, we're going to place our first cup up towards the insertions of the hamstrings at the ischial tuberosity, and then we're going to palpate through and find areas of hypotonicity and place our cups over the main bulk of the hamstrings themselves. This technique again can be incorporated with the one for the lower leg, or we can incorporate it also whilst working into the gluteal area. With those in place, again, we will leave those for a set amount of time, and then once we are happy, we can remove the ones that we don't need for the glide. And then again, we will test to see if we can glide. If not, we will just readjust the amount of suction for each cup. And again, it's entirely up to you whether you want to glide with 1 or 2 cups in place, and also having to consider the patient's tolerance levels. And from here, we can work along the lines at the same time, or we can work in a cross-sectional manner, working up and down the line of the hamstrings. And if you lose suction on either of the cups, again, just take your time and reapply the amount of suction required. And as we're moving through this technique, we can leave one, and we can just work more medial into the adductors, or again, we can work in this frictioning technique, medial to lateral, working all the way up towards the insertion at the tuberosity. And again, let's just get a little bit loose there, a little bit more suction. And then we can finally work through fibres up and down.